Hola amigos y bienvenidos a una nueva clase de IEI High School. El día de hoy hablaremos sobre la importancia de los sinónimos y antónimos en la comprensión verbal. In today's class, we are going to talk about the importance of vocabulary. At the same time, we are going to explore some ways of how you can build up a more consistent and cogent vocabulary. And at the end, we are going to practice with two types of exercises. The first group will be composed of synonyms and the second antonyms. Without further ado, let's get into action. First, the importance of vocabulary. For every single one of us who's been learning English for the last years, it often gets very frustrating to learn several words that can be substituted for different words that mean the same. I mean synonyms. And as we became more fluent, we realized that there are slight differences in meaning between those words, and that those differences can change the whole meaning of a sentence. And at the same time, we also realize that if we want to use more nuance or be more precise on our language usages, we need to use synonyms and antonyms. How to build your vocabulary. Studying synonyms and antonyms can improve your vocabulary. Finding words with similar meanings that you can use in place of a word you use often can give you more ways to say the same thing in many different ways. And this is going to be very important for you when you start writing essays or giving speeches in public, because you are going to be seen as a more fluent and bold speaker. Understanding the opposite of a word, or exactly what the term does not represent, can lead to a more accurate understanding of the word itself. That is so cool, but why should we need to learn more synonyms and antonyms? First, because that's going to make your reading more enjoyable. As your understanding of a language grows, so does your reading comprehension. Authors capitalize on the contrast of opposite and the nuance of slightly different terms to make their writing more precise. For example, poets in particular seem to search for just the right word to make their verses say exactly what they want to get across. A poet could refer to a place as large, but it is much more vivid to call it cavernous. As the reader, you may now be more inclined to imagine a grand, possibly intimidating area. And as you pronounce this word, you almost can hear the words surrounding in the echo of the void. When the author chooses just the right synonym, it can make a big difference in your experience as a reader. Also, to make your writing come alive. As I was mentioning, this is going to be very important for you to have a wide variety of vocabulary in your brains in order to write papers or essays or letters or just email at your job. When you're a writer, you can use these devices to engage with your readers. For example, why would you say that the water is dark when you can say that it's murky? Instead of describing a delicious course of a meal as rich, you can call it succulent or delicious. Using synonyms and antonyms saves you from having to say the same exact word over and over again and again, and thus enriches your writing. When you're writing, keep a thesaurus in hand. This is a very useful tool that gives you many definitions and also synonyms for the same word. And that way, you are going to be exercising your skills, learning new words, and sounding much more proficient at any language, in this case, English. This is one of the best platforms that you can use in order to improve your vocabulary, learn more synonyms, and also definitions. The name is the Thesaurus, and here is how it works. Let's say amenable is a good one, and let's go for synonyms. Just like this, you are going to find a couple of those synonyms so you can pretty much compare them and learn them. Ever since you are either writing an essay or trying to assemble a kind of a speech, it is very important for you to use a wide variety of vocabulary. In that way, your speech is going to sound much more profound and it's going to be much more touching for your audience. Also, you can do the same and go for definitions in the case that you don't know, and just like this, you are going to get the definition of this word. Responsive. Another great tool is Cambridge Dictionary, and pretty much this is how it works. You just have to plug the word, and just like this, you're going to find a bunch of definitions of these words the usage of this word, the pronunciation either on British standards or American standards. Now, let's practice with some exercises with synonyms. I highly recommend you to write down your answers, since at the end of the exercise I'm going to be giving you the right answers. Let's get started. Let's carry on with a round of antonyms. Well, that was it for today's lesson. Thank you so much for being here. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, since that is going to help us a lot to keep growing the channel. Also, don't forget to watch our previous lessons about verbal reasoning, leadership, entrepreneurship, physics, and many other interesting topics. That's all for today's lesson. See you next time. Bye.